Hi guys, I'm back with another video about a year after making my last couple videos. I kind of want to get back into making these videos, so here's one right now. Anyway, I want to talk about the markets, everything that's going on, things I'm noticing, and things that I predict will happen, because in this world there are only probabilities and no guarantees. That comes from George Gammon, by the way, so I'm not just making that up. But anyhow, if you want to check out his videos, they're very cool, and that's how I get a lot of my information. But I'm also noticing things in life myself, and I'm going to combine everything I've noticed. So first, I want to talk about inflation. Inflation has always been a phenomenon that has always happened, and things continue to go up in nominal terms of the cost of goods and services. It's now November 29th, 2021, but about a week or two ago, the CPI number that the Fed came out with is 6.2% for inflation. That's consumer price indexes, and they put a basket of goods into an index to determine how far the prices are going up as to a year ago, of what those prices were a year ago. And they came up with the number at 6.2%. But I will say that that's just what the government comes up with. That is now a 31-year high in how high the inflation is. So it hasn't touched this level in 31 years. So there's something going on, and what is going on now is not normal. So I want to digest everything and give you what I think is going on. I don't think we're at 6.2%. I think we're a lot higher than what they claim we're at. For example, housing in Phoenix, Arizona's up 32% as of a year ago. That's nowhere near 6.2%. And when they give out fresh CPI numbers, they don't include housing and they don't include energy. So they might come up with like milk and bread and things that the government subsidizes. They'll pay the farmers a certain amount of money to keep the prices lower. That way they can lie and say, oh, we're only at 6.2%. But that's actually not true. Depending, and inflation, there's no real number I can give you because everybody spends their money on different things. So inflation to somebody might be different than another person. So if gas prices now are currently 2 times the price than they were a year ago. We're looking at like $4 a gallon now. Right next to me, there's the cheapest place in town, $3.90, just for regular. So $4 a gallon, and we haven't seen these prices in about 7 years in Arizona. So the inflation for gas is 100% as of a year ago. So that's nowhere near 6.2. Housing's up 32%. Gas is up 100%. My rent is up 14% as of a year ago that I pay. So yeah, can't give you a real number, but a lot of people are losing purchasing power due to the policies that the Fed has put. And some of those policies, I'll bring them up. Like, for example, the lockdowns that happened in 2019. The bars were closed, the gyms were closed in Arizona, and anything not essential like water parks were closed. So all of those people lost their jobs. and the government paid them to not work. So when you don't produce anything, when you distort the economy and take a socialist approach to things you want, for example, closing those businesses, people are going to lose their jobs. We're not going to produce as much as a country, and everybody is going to feel this pressure. So this is not, when you close businesses down as a government, that is not a free market capitalist society. So when you start distorting the economy like that and telling businesses what they can and cannot do, that is going on a slippery slope, because even though just the water parks, just the bars, and just some of these businesses in Arizona got closed, nobody did anything about it. There were 125 bar owners in Arizona that took Governor Ducey to court for that. They lost the first two court cases, and then they finally won the third. So things finally got changed, but it's sad that we have this kind of economy now. And the reason why we do is because government is getting more control as time goes on, bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's definitely not what the U.S. was started for. The U.S. started because people left Great Britain to come here because they were tired of government control. And they wanted to start something new and do their own thing. Because of the high taxes, because of the power of the government, and because of everything they were told they can and cannot do. And I feel like history doesn't repeat itself, but it's very similar. And I think that this could be a similar time to something like that. So I'm making this video so you can think about all these things and maybe realize what's going on around you. Because a lot of people don't seem to notice what's really going on. I'm going to say medicine mandates. That way I don't get in any trouble from YouTube's policies. If you know what I'm talking about, those are being pushed for today from the government. But I thought they were going to happen. It was taking a lot longer than I thought, but it eventually did happen about a month ago. Joe Biden went onto the news to say that on January 4th, all businesses in the U.S. that have 100 or more employees are going to have to, or required to, make all employees who are not vaccinated to get tested weekly. And all the people who don't have to get tested and are able to just go about their daily lives. So to require somebody to put a foreign substance into their body is unconstitutional. And 3 days after Biden said what he said, the federal court blocked him and said it was unconstitutional. And I took screenshots of all of the news articles that I had seen, and I reposted them everywhere so people can wake up and see what's going on. Luckily, we have checks and balances like that here in the U.S., and that's what makes this country, in my opinion, the best country to live in. But as time goes on, I'm seeing freedoms being lost, and I'm seeing more socialism come into our lives, and as a result, we are seeing what's going on. Like another perfect example of what I'm talking about is my Five Guys has closed 25 times in the last 2 months, the closest one near me. And I've been keeping track because that's not a normal thing. So something is going on. And I think I know what is going on. The Starbucks that's closest to me has closed their cafe anywhere between 20 and 30 times in the last 2 months. And I asked them what was going on. And they told me people weren't showing up for work. People were calling out sick. And I thought, like, why would people not want to work right now? Like, what is going on? Because the things that are happening today, I don't think have ever happened. Or if they have, it's just been a very long time. And we're now more than 2 years into the COVID crisis. Or I'm going to say cerveza sickness crisis. So that way, you know what I'm talking about. And I don't get in any trouble. But I shouldn't have to worry about what I say. Because I think we have freedom of free speech. So I'm going to be a little cryptic so I don't get demonetized. Anyhow, going back to all of the things that the governments are doing. The lockdowns are not helping people. The mandates are scaring some people who are not going to get it. They claim it's about 10% of the labor force now. So if you're already closing down your businesses as many times as I said, and then 10% of those people leave their jobs because of these mandates coming up, or that were going to come up, then the president is only exacerbating the problem of free market capitalism. Currently, we're still on the freeze for student loans, and I have some myself to pay off, but if I don't have to pay them off, then why would I need to work so hard and produce? I don't, because my debt is on freeze. That's not capitalism right there. That's government-controlled policies that are encouraging people not to work. I got sent 3 stimulus checks last year, just like many Americans. Millions of people got those. But for me, I didn't need them. Because I've got 2, now I have 3 jobs. So all I did was put the money into the stock market. Just for funsies, you know? So the government, again, in this example, is distorting our economy. And currently in California, 500 people are now getting stimulus checks for another year. People who, there's different requirements to be in that 500, but that's universal basic income right there. Why would people work if they're getting free money? It's communism right there. The rent moratoriums that happened for a year and a half here in the U.S., people didn't have to pay their rents. So why would people work? They don't got to pay rent. They don't got to pay their loans if they're getting free checks from the government. And these supply shocks for a lot of things not being available at many businesses. There could be many reasons why that's happening. But I think what's really going on is these government controls and the government policies and the printing of all the money that we do every month and all the debt that we're in as a country is definitely causing all these problems. I don't think it's supply problems. I don't think it's anything that the regular common person in America is causing. So I predict that we have more problems down the road and that things are only going to get worse. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope things get better, but just the way we're going, I definitely am trying to prepare myself for a possibility that this world could go upside down at any moment. Cryptos and stocks are like at all-time highs. And I think what's going on is people are realizing all around them that prices are going up and things are crazy nowadays. So they're trying to protect their purchasing power by buying cryptos and stocks, hoping for the prices to go up. And Bitcoin went from 3,500 a year ago to 68,000 in just 1 year. That's 20 times what it used to cost, or about, roughly. So for an imaginary coin to go up 20 times in a year or a year and a half, there is something else going on right now. And a lot of people do not trust the government or what they're doing. So they're putting their money into something like that. Very, very, very risky. Because they're trying to get returns to keep their purchasing power the same. And that's what hyperinflation does. People try to get rid of their dollars because they realize the dollar is fake. The dollar is not sound money. Its intrinsic value is zero. So people try to get rid of their dollars as soon as they can in a world of high inflation. And that's what's going on right now. That's why cryptos are 20 times. That's why stocks are at an all-time high when businesses are struggling with supply and closing. But it doesn't matter how much money you have if everything's closed. You can have all the money on the planet. But if you can't buy anything, then what does it matter? So this is sad times that we're living in, but I would say there's a saying that I heard from George Gammon, and he heard it from other people, but it's good times make weak men. Weak men make bad times, and bad times make strong men. And strong men make good times again. So right now, I think a lot of people are weak, and they're not standing up for freedom. So we're looking at some bad times right now. But eventually, strong men will come out of this, and hopefully will continue to live in a free world. But who knows? Anyway, the point in me making this video is to get you to think about what's going on and to start waking up and seeing what's really going on. I might be wrong, but if I'm right, this might help you. Alright, bye guys. I'll make another video eventually. Thanks for watching. And please like the video or subscribe to it, to my channel, if you thought this video was good. Thanks guys.